Welcome to the 18th lecture of Control System 2. So today we are going to solve some of the examples based on Lyapunov theory, what we have discussed in the last class. So in the last class we have taken a nonlinear system, autonomous nonlinear system, and we have discussed different notion of stability using Lyapunov theorem, and we have given basically the definitions of stability. Then we have given the definition of asymptotic stability, and we have given the definition of exponential stability, both in the sense of local as well as the global. Then we have stated the Lyapunov theorem, and now today with the example we want to see how the Lyapunov theorem will be useful to understand or to determine the stability of a nonlinear system. We using two methods what we have discussed, that is the Lyapunov first method and Lyapunov second method. Okay, so let us start with the example 1, where we can see that a nonlinear system is given, which is a second order system, and where the first question is that show that xc equal to 1 1 is an equilibrium state. It is only the equilibrium state, or are other equilibrium states exist for this nonlinear system, because we know that nonlinear system may have multiple equilibrium point. And is xc means this 1 1 an asymptotic stable equilibrium, is an xc an asymptotically stable or at least locally equilibrium state. So let us try to solve one by one. So show that xc 1 1 is an equilibrium state. If it is an equilibrium state, then according to the definition of the equilibrium state, that at xc x1 dot will be equal to 0, x2 dot will be equal to 0. So let us verify that one. So we will understand that xc, if the if xc is 1 1, okay, 1 1, we have to verify that this is the equilibrium state or not. So what we will do, so this is the value of, we can say that this is the x1e and this is the x2e. So we will substitute in the nonlinear equation. So it will be minus 1 plus 1, so it will be equal to 0, and then x2 dot, okay, so this is the number 1 we are going to solve, and x2 dot will be minus 2 plus 1 minus 1 plus 2, that also leads to equal to 0. So definitely from here we can conclude that hence xc is an equilibrium state. Okay, now it has been asked that second question, it has been asked that, again I'm showing you the second question, it has been asked that is it only the equilibrium state, what are the others if any. So to investigate that one, what we have to make now, from the definition of the equilibrium point, we know that x1 dot must be equal to 0 and x2 dot will be equal to 0, and from there we have to find out the solution of the equation to find out the equilibrium state. So let us do that one, that if we will make x1 dot equal to 0, it means that x1 minus x1 square plus x1 x2 is equal to 0, and another equation we will get that 2x1 square plus x2 minus x1 x2 plus 2 will be equal to 0. So now this is suppose equation number 1 and this is the equation number 2. Then what you have to do, you have to solve this equation 1 and 2. If you solve, you will get the 3 more equilibrium points, that they will be respectively 2 by 3, 2 by 3, first equilibrium point, another, sorry, it will be minus 2 by 3, and another equilibrium point you will get 0, 1 plus root over of 17 minus 4. This is one equilibrium point, and another equilibrium point will be 0 minus root over of 17 minus 4. So there will be existence of 3 equilibrium point. Fine. Okay, now the third question has been asked, that is Xc an asymptotically stable equilibrium state? So first of all, what we will do, we want to test, because it has been asked that at least locally. So what we will do, we will apply the Lyapunov first method. What the Lyapunov first method is telling, that a nonlinear system will be asymptotically stable with respect to a particular equilibrium point if you linearize the nonlinear system about that equilibrium point, and if the Jacobian matrix, what you will find out, and if you see that all the eigenvalues of that Jacobian matrix having negative real part, then definitely the nonlinear system will be stable with respect to that equilibrium point. So we will apply that method. So to define the stability, we understood that we have to find out. So if we have a system x dot equal to fx, so here we are finding that fx belongs to maybe R2, means we are finding that two components are there, and now we want to represent it in linear, as a linear system, by df by dx, by calculating the Jacobian, and it has to be calculated at x equal to xc into x, we can say, means it will be simply a into x. So that's why basically from here, so we are going to the so basically from definition we can say that a equal to del f by del x, and you have to compute that at x equal to xc. Fine. So let us calculate that one. So what will be the del f by del x, because f having two components, that is f1 and f2. Okay, so then what are f1 and f2? This is the f1, that minus x1 square plus x1 x2, and f2 is this minus 2x2 square plus x2 minus x1 x2 plus 2. So this is the f1 and f2. So now the Jacobian will be, so that you have to calculate at x equal to xc. So this will be del f1 by del x1, then del f1 by del x2, del f2 by del x1, and del f2 by del x2. So this is the way you have to calculate the Jacobian. So x, that you have to compute at x equal to xc. So let us calculate this Jacobian. If you calculate the Jacobian, you will get the expression like this. So suppose here you just follow it, that minus x1 square plus x1 x2 is the f1. So you have to take the partial derivative with respect to x1. So what will be the result? Now you are finding that it will be minus 2x1 plus x2. Okay, so it will be minus 2x1 plus x2, and similarly it will be x1, and it will be minus x2, that is minus 4x2 plus 1 minus x1. So then you have to evaluate it 0 0, because xc here, xc is 0 0, means x1 is 0, x2 is 0. So if you compute it, then you will find a constant matrix, a matrix, with the elements of minus 1 1, then minus 1 minus 4. Okay, so now if you get this A matrix, then you find out the eigenvalues of A. If you calculate the eigenvalues of A, that you know that it will be lambda, determinant of lambda I minus A, and if you calculate it, you will find that the eigenvalues what you are getting, that is minus 5 plus minus root over of 5 by 2. So now you see both the eigenvalues, so plus minus, so now you see both the eigenvalues having negative real part, means both the eigenvalues are located at the left half of S plane. So definitely we can write that one. The statement is very important. You see, we are actually judging the stability of the linear system, but we are giving the comment about the stability of a non-linear system using Lyapunov first method. How? Now, as we have understood that if the A matrix after linearization having all the eigenvalues at the right hand side, then the nonlinear system is stable with respect to that particular equilibrium point XE. So now we can write that XE, that is 1 1. Oh, sorry, here I have done a mistake. The equilibrium points are not 0 0, it is 1 1. Sorry, it will be 1 1. Okay, so it is, if it is 1 1, so XE 1 1 is an asymptotically stable equilibrium point. Okay, good. So now this is the way we can solve the things. Now we are going to the slide back and we will go for the example 2. So example 2 is also very interesting. You see, it is also a nonlinear system, a third order nonlinear system, which is you can consider it as a nonlinear spring. You see the spring term, okay, that is a nonlinear term is there, YQ. Find a state space representation of the system. Find the equilibrium points of the system. Is the equilibrium states are stable? Use Lyapunov first and second method to comment about the stability. Okay, so let us solve this one. So now we are going to the next page. So now you see that the system which is given, that is y triple dot plus 3y dot plus y cube is equal to 0. Okay, so now first question is that we have to represent this system using state space. So let x1 is equal to y and x2 is equal to y dot. Fine. So if you take this, then easily you can write the state equation. X1 dot is equal to x2 and x2 dot will be equal to minus y cube, and y cube is minus x1 of cube, okay, minus 3y dot, that is x2. So this will be the state space representation of the system. So basically you can say that we have a nonlinear system, x1 dot x2 dot, we cannot write in the form of ax. So basically it is x2 and x2, and here it is minus x1 cube minus 3 into x2. Okay, so is equal to, that is actually f1 and this is the f2. Okay, so these are the two functions. So this is the representation of the system in the form of x dot is equal to f of x, where x belongs to R2. Okay. Okay, now second question has been asked, find out the equilibrium point. So if you want to find out the equilibrium point, then x1 will be equal to 0 and x2 will be equal to 0. Okay, so now if we will find the equilibrium point, then you will find that if we will make x1 equal to 0, so definitely it is giving you the x2 equal to 0, and if you put x2 equal to 0 in the next equation, then you will find that definitely it will give you the x1 is 0. So from here it is very much clear that the equilibrium point is 0 0. That is the only equilibrium point. So this is the only equilibrium point. Fine. So now third question is that we have to judge the stability of this nonlinear system using Lyapunov first method and second method. Okay, so let us apply the Lyapunov first method. Okay, so Lyapunov first method, if you want to apply, as we have discussed, we have to find out, that is del f by del x at x equal to xe. So if you compute that one, then we will find that it will be because you see f1, so it will be basically del f1 by del x1, del f1 by del x2, del f2 by del x1, and del f2 by del x2, and that you have to compute at x equal to xc. Fine. So now if we want to calculate that, then del f by del x, that is basically a, and you have to calculate that x equal to xc. Then if you calculate it, it will be simply 0 1 minus 2x1 cube, sorry, not cube, it will be square. Okay, it will be square, and minus 3, and this you have to compute at 0 0. So if you compute it, then you will find that it is coming 0 1 0 minus 3. Okay, and if you calculate the eigenvalues of a, because that is you have to compute, so if you calculate the eigenvalues of a, so eig of a, so basically that is the determinant of lambda I minus a. If you do that one, it is coming that lambda into lambda plus 3 is equal to 0. So one of the eigenvalue is 0 and another eigenvalue is minus 3. But according to the first method, all the eigenvalues of the A matrix must be negative, real part must be negative, then only we can say the stability of the asymptotic stability of the nonlinear system about that equilibrium point. But here we are finding that one of the eigenvalue is 0. So if one of the eigenvalue is 0 in this case you are getting, then we cannot comment about the stability of the nonlinear system with respect to this equilibrium point. So it is inconclusive for this kind of cases. Okay, so that's why using first method we cannot comment about the stability of the nonlinear system about the equilibrium point 0 0. So that's why we will go for the Lyapunov second method. Okay, second method. So what the Lyapunov second method is telling that, first of all you have to search a v of x. So let us go back to the theorem so that you can recollect it. So here you see what is the Lyapunov stability theorem. It is telling that you should have a v which is continuously differentiable and quadratic function such that, or you have to choose such that v0 is 0 and vx is greater than 0, means it must be positive definite. If you choose, then you have to find out the first derivative, means time derivative of v, and if you are able to prove it is less than equal to 0, then it will be stable, and if it is strictly less than 0, then it will be asymptotically stable. And if you prove that v dot x is less than equal to some constant minus some constant epsilon vx, then you can say that the system is asymptotically stable. So the whole theory is depending on the search of vx. So obvious question is that how to construct the vx. So in this course there is a very little scope to show you that how the vx is constructed. There are several methods exist through which we can construct the vx, but the time being the vx will be provided to you. Okay, we will assume that some vx we will choose, that is vx. Suppose a quadratic function we are choosing, that will be 1/4 x1 to the power 4 plus half x2 square. Okay, suppose we have chosen the vx like this. Okay, and it can be shown that obviously the v0 will be equal to 0. Okay, and also the method what I have shown to test whether this quadratic function is positive definite or not, means vx is greater than 0 or not, that also you can test it. So basically the vx what we have chosen, that is 1/4 x1 to the power 4 plus half x2 square. This is, suppose it is given to you. Okay, time being just you assume that it is given to you. Now we have tested that vx what you have chosen, that is verify, that is obeying the property. Now you have to calculate that dv by dt, okay, and you have to show that if it is less than equal to 0, okay, then we can say that the system will be stable. Okay, so now next step is that we have to calculate the time derivative of Vx. Okay, so how we will do that one? So now the v dot x, okay, as from our chain rule, you see the chain rule has been shown here, that how to calculate Vx. So it will be del v by del x1 into x1 dot plus del v by del x2 into x2 dot, because here only two functions are there. So basically we have to calculate del v by del x1 into x1 dot plus del v by del x2 into x2 dot. Okay, so let us do that one. So if you calculate the del v by del x1, okay, so it will be 1/4 into 4 into x1 of cube, and what is x1 dot? That is x2, fine, plus del v by del x2, so it will be half, okay, into 2 into x2, and the x2 dot is minus x1 cube minus 3x2. okay, so if you take this one and if you simplify, you see this 1/4 and 4 is cancelled, this 2 and this 2 is cancelled out, and now you are finding that it is x1 cube x2. okay, and from here you are also getting that is minus x1 cube x2, okay, and then minus 3x2 square. And now you can understand why we have chosen the Vx like this, and it is now very easy to observe that this term and this terms will be cancelled out, because that's why we have chosen the function like this, such that we can get a conclusion. And now you can see that it is minus 3x2 square. okay, what does it mean? It means that it will be definitely less than equal to 0. What is the meaning of this function v dot x? V dot x is less than, because it is still, it is a quadratic function. How? Now you see this function can be written minus 3x2 square plus suppose 0 into x1 square. okay, and we know that this quadratic function always can be written in the form of x transpose px. So what would be the p matrix here? So we can write x1 x2, then we can write 0 minus 3 0 0, okay, then x1 x2. and if you judge that that what are the eigen, because if this p matrix is this p matrix, if we able to find out that all the eigen values, then from there we can comment about the definiteness of this quadratic function. So now from here we are finding that the eigenvalues of p are 0 and minus 3. So one of the eigenvalues is 0 and other eigenvalue is minus 3. So definitely it is positive, negative semi-definite. So it means that it is negative semi-definite. So if it is negative semi-definite, then the system is asymptotically, not asymptotically stable. We can say that system is only stable. So the nonlinear system is stable, okay, stable, stable with respect to xc, that is 0 0. okay, so we can say it is stable according to the theorem. But if we able to show that it is strictly less than 0, then we can say that it is asymptotically stable. And if we able to show that v dot x equal to some minus some constant v of x, then we will say that it is asymptotic, that is exponentially stable. okay, so now we will move to the third problem. Let us see the third problem what we are going to solve today. That is, third problem is, that is, consider a system. It is also a nonlinear system. That is, x1 dot equal to minus x1 some nonlinear function of x2, and x2 dot is equal to minus x2 some other nonlinear function h, that is a function of x1. And how the nonlinearity is, the mod of gu is less than modulus of u of x2, and modulus of hu is less than equal to modulus of u by 2, or half of modulus u. Let's use the Lyapunov theorem to show it's asymptotically stable. We use the Lyapunov function. So here the Lyapunov function has been given, that is half x1 square plus x2 square. Check the required properties of v. So if the v is given, we have to check the required properties of v, and to show the asymptotically stable, we have to show that v dot is strictly less than 0, means that v dot, which is a quadratic function which is negative definite. Okay, that we have to establish. So let us try to understand this. Okay, so now for this problem already it has been given that vx is equal to half x1 square plus half x2 square. Okay, so this is a quadratic function, and obviously first point is that v0 is 0, and second point would be that v0 must be greater than 0, okay, except at 0. Okay, so now how we will prove that one? For v dot v of x, always it can be written x transpose px. So for this case, what we can write? Now we can write x1 x2, okay, and then we can have that that is half 0 0 half, okay, and then x1 x2. If you see that this p matrix, okay, is strictly greater than 0, means if you find out the eigenvalues of this matrix, it will be, all the eigenvalues will be positive. So definitely from here we can say that v dot is a positive definite function. Okay, and next we have to find out the v dot of x. Okay, so let us find the v dot of x. So for v dot of x, for this case, similarly to the earlier one, it will be del v by del x1 into x1 dot plus del v by del x2 into x2 dot, because it is a function of x, but we are taking the time derivative. And what is v? V already it is given, that is half x1 square plus half x2 square, and x1 dot and x2 dot is also known. So now if we compute that one, that will be x1 into x1 dot plus x2 into x2 dot. Okay, so now what we will do, we will write the x1 dot and x2 dot. So x1 into x1 dot, so that is minus x1 plus g into x2, okay, and plus x2 into minus x2, okay, plus h into x of 1. Okay, and from here we can see that x1 square it will come from here, and plus x1 into g of x2 plus, sorry, minus x2 square plus x2 into h of x of 1. Okay, and now from here we can see that it can be written minus x1 square plus x2 square. So you see this term, if only this term is present, then it is very easy to show that v dot x is negative definite. But with that additional terms are there, x1, and what is gx2? So gx2 will be half of, okay, according to the nonlinearity. You see the nonlinearity is what? Half of mod of u, means for this case mod of u means that is x2, so mod of x2 and plus x2 into half of mod of x1. So what we will do with these terms, we have to conclude something. So now from the properties of that is modulus, what we can write, that is x1 square plus x2 square, okay, plus we can write that always it will be less than equal to modulus of x1 x2. That you can verify from the properties of modulus, okay. And now what we can do with these terms, that is mod of x1 and x2. So let us do some calculation using modulus. Suppose mod of x1 minus mod of x2, we are calculating the whole square, okay. So what we can write that one, that is x1 square plus that is x2 square, that is minus 2 mod of x1 mod of x2, okay. Obviously it will be always greater than equal to 0, okay. And now from here we can see that half of x1 square, because modulus we can remove because it is a square, so x2 square, okay, obviously greater than equal to mod of x1 x2, or we can say that mod of x1 x2, okay, always will be less than equal to half of x1 square plus x2 square. So we will use this relation in the above case to decide about this. So now from here that v dot x, okay, v dot x, now we can write that will be less than equal to minus half of x1 square plus x2 square, okay. Because you see this term mod of x1 x2 always will be less than equal to half of x1 square plus x2 square. So then v dot x in total it will be less than equal to half of x1 square plus x2 square. And it is very interesting to note down that this actually equal to minus v, because you see v what you have taken, that is v you have taken half x1 square plus x2 square. So now it is very much clear that we have actually satisfied the condition. So this we can say that v dot x is less than equal to minus of v. Fine. So let us go back to our definite means discussion, where we have seen that if you are able to prove that minus v dot x is less than equal to minus some constant into vx, here the constant is 1, then the system is exponentially stable. So if the system is exponentially stable, then definitely the system is asymptotically stable. So here basically the system, or we can say the nonlinear means the equilibrium point, the system is exponentially stable with respect to the equilibrium point. That equilibrium point what we have with respect to the equilibrium point, that is the, okay, that is we have not computed, I think, with respect to the equilibrium point, okay. And if it is exponentially stable, so definitely it will be asymptotically stable, because the exponential stability is the stronger notion than the asymptotical stable, okay. And if for the second for the fourth example, okay, fourth example we will go through this slide. Here you can see that the fourth example about the pendulum, okay. So whenever we have considered the pendulum equation and its linearization, if you can remember that what we have discussed, that is very important now, that you can recollect that one. Let us go to that particular slide, then you can recollect it. Okay, so here you see this is the pendulum equation, and we have understood that there are two equilibrium points are there. They are the 0 0 pi 0, and other equilibrium points are the repetition of this equilibrium point. Okay, now if we want to linearize this nonlinear equation, then we got for the 0 0 equilibrium point, this is the A matrix, and for the linearization about the pi 0 equilibrium, that is we got this A matrix. Now if you compute the eigenvalues of this A matrix, which is linearized about the 0 0 equilibrium point, you will find that always it will be a stable equilibrium point. Means the nonlinear system is stable. Why it will be stable? Because you will find that it can be shown that all the eigenvalues of this A matrix having negative real part. Okay, and in that case it is very easy to show that the nonlinear system will be stable with respect to this equilibrium point. And if you compute the eigenvalues of the A matrix for means A matrix which we have derived with respect to the equilibrium point pi 0, you will find that the eigenvalue, one of the eigenvalue will be located at the right half of the S-plane. So definitely this is a unstable equilibrium point. So that actually we are going to understand using the Lyapunov theory, Lyapunov second method. This I have discussed about the Lyapunov first method, and now we will see with the second method what we are going to conclude means the same thing we are able to conclude or not, that we want to understand. So let us do that one. Okay, and so that's why if now for the same pendulum, what we have understood, what we have taken, that the mass and the length of the pendulum is 1, so then the state equation will be simplified to x2, and another function will be minus sine x1 minus bx2. And now we are taking for this system, that is the pendulum, this is the this is the energy function, that is x2 square by 2 plus 1 minus cos x1. Now if you do the derivative of this energy to know that whether the energy is dissipated or not, and the same way if you proceed, you are finding that it is minus bx2 square, which is less than equal to 0. Means it is not, you are not able to show that it is strictly less than 0. But from the Lyapunov first method, as I told you that 0 0 point is the asymptotically stable equilibrium point. How? Let us verify that one, and then it will be clear. Okay. So for the pendulum case, what the equilibrium point, what is the system dynamics? Now x1 dot is equal to x2, and x2 dot is equal to minus sine x1 minus b into x2. Suppose as we come to know that n pi 0 are the equilibrium points for this system. Okay, equilibrium points for this system. So now here you see the same thing we have taken, and definitely here the b greater than 0, definitely. Okay, so our claim is that 0 0 equilibrium point, this equilibrium point is asymptotically stable equilibrium point. Okay, and pi 0 equilibrium point is unstable. Okay, and from what basis I have claimed that it will be asymptotically stable equilibrium point? By Lyapunov first method. So let us do that one, whether it is true or not. So Lyapunov first method, we have to compute del f by del x. Okay, and if you compute that one, it is coming 0 1 minus cos of x1 minus b. Okay, and if you compute that del f by del x a, that is for 0 0 equilibrium point, then this matrix will be simply 0 1 minus 1 minus b. And if you find out the eigenvalues of this, okay, so eig of a, or better EIG of A, then what we have to do, the determinant of SI minus A we have to make equal to 0. So we will get the characteristics equation, that is S square plus BS plus 1 equal to 0. So from here you can, it is very much clear, you can even apply the Routh-Hurwitz criteria. So from here we are finding that for b greater than 0, all the roots of this equation obviously will be located at the left half of the S-plane. So if all the roots of the A matrix for this equilibrium point located at the left half of the S-plane, so definitely the nonlinear system with respect to this 0,0 equilibrium point, that is the pendulum, will be asymptotically stable. But here using in second method we are observing that it is less than equal to 0, means it is only stable. We cannot say that it is asymptotically stable. So why this has happened? It has happened because we need some, and if this kind of situation is occurred, then we need another theorem which is called Lassalle's invariance principle. But now we are not going to discuss that method, only to point out that this can happen also. And here in this point, one very important thing has to be mentioned, that this Lyapunov method to judge the stability is not a necessary condition, it is a sufficient condition. It means that for a system, suppose you have chosen a Lyapunov functions and you have established that for that chosen Lyapunov function the system is unstable. It doesn't mean that if someone else choose another Lyapunov function and able to prove that the system is stable, then maybe the system is stable with respect to that the Lyapunov candidate, what the particular it has been chosen. So here you remember that the Lyapunov method to judging the stability of a system is not a necessary condition what the condition has been given. It is only the sufficient condition to judge the stability of a system. So I will end here, and next class I will discuss about the using the Lyapunov method, how you will judge the stability of a linear system, because as I told that it is a most generalized way to judge the stability of a linear system as well as the nonlinear system. So up to this we have discussed how to judge the stability of a nonlinear system, and then we will see how to judge the stability of a linear system using Lyapunov theory. Okay, thank you.